Okay, welcome everybody. We're about to see this game started. This is going to be best of Masters versus Free State Warriors. And yeah, I expect this is going to be an interesting game. The reason I'm saying that is because we've got the best of Masters now currently standing in fourth place with 36 points, and Free State Warriors standing in seventh place with 12 points. Just going to land my drone quickly. So regardless of that, we are checking the update of the app. Okay, and we've still got some battery power left in that battery, and back in a second. Okay, it's a bit overcast today, but there's no chances of rain. Um, I did feel a few drops earlier. Just moving closer. And just before the game, they had a toss. Warriors won the toss and elected, or yeah, so I selected to bat first. So let's see how that decision plays out. We can see this new apps. There's got a lot of fluctuations in the streaming strength, constantly changing, and we haven't got the scoreboard at the bottom yet. Maybe that will pop up soon. If it doesn't, I will just go out. We do have a backup part for the app, which will revert to if this one doesn't work. Like we said, this is a update, and something in the app looks better than previously, because all of a sudden it does find the service in South Africa more easily. So that part of the process went well. Just looking at the umpire is about to start the match. Probably as soon as he starts the match, the scoreboard will pop up as well. Hopefully, you can see that he hasn't started the match yet, or it doesn't seem like it. But also a shout out to the teams that's going to the World Champs in next month. No, it's this month. It's the middle of December that the World Champs is in Cape Town, and three of the Bloemfontein teams are going. And it's the CPI Masters, CPI Challenges, and the CPI Hard Shots. We can't wait to see them in action. This is the last match for the Last Man Stands Bloemfontein Summer League, and yeah, for this year. It will obviously continue the next year in, I think, January, after the first weekend when the schools reopened. See, the scoreboard hasn't come up yet. But I do have a feeling that Free State Warriors are not going to get any points for the clothing. You can see that even the guys in the camps, they've got all different kinds of clothing. And I think that is probably one of the reasons also why we don't see a lot of the Free State Warriors wanting live streaming each month. and that is because that the Free State Warriors probably don't all have the same clothing, and they really want to respect their sponsor um, and be an ambassador for them. Regardless of that, we do for this match. Western Masters are the proud sponsors of the live streaming for this match, so they are in well, him or that shop, Best Butchery. They are sponsoring the entirety of this match. So all the footage that's going to be made and the graphics that's going to be posted on social media is going to contain some form of Best Butchery branding on it. And yes, that is something that we want to encourage other teams as well. Allow their sponsor to get some exposure a little bit more. And we see the scoreboard has jumped up to the bottom, but it's not fully onto the screen yet. I'm just going to refresh. Maybe it moves a bit upwards. And now all of a sudden it's gone. It's back. Okay, now we're just going to stop streaming, go out, come back, and then we're going to get that scoreboard would probably show. Expect they just went out quickly, came back, and the scoreboard shows correctly on the bottom of your screen. Hopefully we don't struggle with the app today. It does seem as on our side as if the footage isn't too great. The quality isn't bad, but it is, yeah, what you can expect from cell phone quality. But it is overcast, so it's supposed to be a little bit darker. And yeah, that is what we work with today. But in any case, we can see that Free State Warriors selected to send in Dandre Olivier and Marius Nienaber. Marius also being the captain for the Free State Warriors. And I do remember from the Winter League how well he played, or his team had played. The league, how well he played, or his team had played. Some excitement coming from their side. They do also have a few youngsters in their team, which allowed them to run quick runs and really make a difference in that match. I haven't seen the team selection for this match yet, but it is great to see that Kali Potgieter is playing once again. We so love to see him playing. Yeah, it's probably because we misjudged him earlier because of his build. He's a little bit smaller than the other guys, but he's really pulling his weight more than what he looks. Brilliant fielder, good bowler, and yeah, I can't remember exactly what his batting was, but it probably shouldn't be too bad either. Yeah, one over gone, and normally the teams are looking at maybe 10 runs per over. Well, they might be a little bit behind on that, but let's see what they can do as soon as the nerves start to settle in the rest of this match. Also, keeping in mind that you only score runs depending on what your opposition allow you to. It's all on their fielding and how they field. Um, and obviously the bowler is a crucial element in um, restricting those runs. We did hear some good news through the grapevine, I think yesterday. Something about that we might be seeing some nighttime last man stands cricket in the future. Not everything has been finalized yet, but I'm really looking forward to that. Caleb Potgieter now bowling from the varsity end. Those not sure on our explanation on the two ends being bowled from. Varsity end, obviously behind them, we have to acknowledge that the people who are keeping these fields in that such good condition is University of the Orange Free State. I want to thank them for all the effort they put in allowing these players to come and enjoy such a beautiful surface. The opposite end is Tempe. Now they've got no input into this match, but for those who know Bloemfontein pretty well, or a little bit familiar with Bloemfontein, we've got a Tempe military base. If you pull a line behind the wicketkeeper of Western Masters now at the moment, that is going to be Arthur Creer. Behind him, to his back, if you draw a line to his back, I think about 3 kilometers, you'll find yourself at the gate at the Free State, not Free State, Tempe military base. They also have rugby team. I don't think they've got a cricket team at the moment. They do have many cricket fields on the premises, but there's nobody looking after those pieces of land. And yeah, that was always an option to play some cricket over there as soon as they sort out their fields. But regardless of that, last minutes are always changing between university. I think they've been here for the last year and a half, maybe 2 years. Before that, that was CBC school. Or CBC Old Boys. They've got, I think they've got 2 fields over there. But the problem is Losman Sands is growing so much that most of the players or the teams can't be, or actually the league can't be played on only 2 fields in a month or on a Sunday. I'm not exactly sure how many fields they've got at the university when they start playing the nighttime cricket, but it will definitely bring some relief, some pressure of getting through the league each week when they can play on more than only a Sunday. Because you guys must remember, these guys playing here, they've got day jobs, they're working during the day, during the week. Oh, and that's a beautiful ball bowled. Daryl Knissen showing his mettle once again. Beautifully bowled there. It's Christina Albert leaving the field. No. By the way, it is Marius Niederauber that stayed behind. So I'm pretty sure almost it is 2 brothers standing there batting together. But that was beautifully bowled by Daryl. If he keeps it up like that, it's going to mean a lot of trouble for the Warriors today. It's so great to see some of the old faces once again of the best masters. We used to live stream many of their games in the past, but somehow things just didn't work out, and it's always live streaming the teams that play against them, because obviously each team pays an amount for the live stream, and the best masters, they've got no problem. They are up for every match that they are playing, so it all depends on also on the team that they play against. And yeah, not all the teams do have a sponsor like Best Masters, and then sometimes their matches can't be live streamed. And then you also get some other teams that early in the week they select or they want their live stream, and then there's only 3 spots open on a Sunday, 9 o'clock and half past, or the 12 o'clock, and then the 2 o'clock one. And unfortunately, if one of the spots have been taken, there's no spots left, and until we come at a stage where we've got another person live streaming and he will be able to fill another spot. This is van het lekker man. Yes. Up a little bit. So now it's Nina was taking control of the pitch. We are lucky to see that the scoreboard is working at the bottom. It seems like it's updating quite nicely. It's on time, and I'm slightly worried with this fluctuating. Oh, this looks like it's going to be a 4. We'll just went past Arthur Creer, and it's Peter coming to pick it up. Like I said earlier, we do see some fluctuations in the stream quality. But it does look better than it used to look in the past. Touch wood. Projected score of 141 for the Free State Warriors. Let's see how close I can get to that score. So far it looks like they are putting up a pretty solid performance. Yeah, anything can happen at any stage. The umpire in this match is Joppie du Plessis. Looks like he's umpiring all 3 the matches on this field today. This now be the last one, which means he could feel some fatigue maybe. Yeah, we saw on the CPI Big Bash a week ago where Ayana was umpire for all 5 the matches. They were only 8 overs per innings long, so they were considerably shorter than the average T20 match, but he did 5 of them, and it was pretty hot that day. Today's might be a little bit cooler, maybe it just feels like it because it's overcast. And we had a bit of a breeze coming here from our back earlier on. Now it is a lot quieter. Looks like the Ninabers are making some decisions over there on how they're going to proceed this match. 4th over down. It does seem like they are asking for water. Crucially important to stay hydrated in especially conditions like this. When it's warm, your mind tells you it's not as warm as you might think of it when you don't see the sun and you don't see the glare of the sun with blue skies. You might or you might be fooled in thinking, oh, that's a beautiful ball. Once again, is Daryl Knudsen taking another wicket. He's taken 2 wickets now. That one was Marius, who just lost his wicket. So the Ninabe attack was split up. We'll now see shortly who is going to replace Marius. A lot of discussions here today. To use this time just to want to thank the main sponsor for this match, Best Butchery. Thank you very much, and I am your commentator, Jurgen Smith. I'll switch over to Afrikaans commentary after the 10th over. It's my mother tongue. This ball was a bit wide. Oh shit. That was definitely very wide. If we wanted to stop that ball, we had to move the camera. Well, I feel that Daryl probably can be allowed to bowl wide every now and then. He has done his job so far in this team, taking 2 of the wickets. And something we saw during the CPI Big Bash last weekend, that there were a couple of beautiful shots played. Not that many wickets that fell. Feel free to go and look at Bloemfontein Sport results, social media platforms for some of the highlights and the reports that I made for those matches. CPI sponsored the entire tournament, and it was basically used as a practice run for the World Championships in December. So it wasn't always about winning a game, it is about testing out some combinations. And I know that the CPI Masters, they had 3 brand new players, very well experienced players, but brand new players in their team, brand new to last man stands format cricket, and yeah, they had to get comfortable with how to play it like we are watching it now. And it does seem like the people take some time to get used to it, because there is quite a few differences from normal cricket, from normal T20 cricket. Maybe if we are looking at this now and you're are familiar with it, then you might know the differences. If not, if you are looking at it for the first time, some of the main differences is in last man stands cricket, there's only 8 players on each team. Each over only has 5 balls. which means there is a lot less balls being bowled, and in a 20 over innings, that means there's 100 balls that the batting team has to put up a score. So basically, every ball counts, and whether you use it or not, that is up to your discretion. And we heard earlier, I think it was last weekend, where we saw different opinions from different players. Some feel because there are many um, gaps between the defense of the fielding team that you can score those boundaries a lot easier. So they feel like maybe you might put up a big score, and that is exciting to watch. The other popular opinion also is for the bowlers from the fielding team, obviously, is to restrict the runs as far as possible. Oh, and that was another wicket taken there. This was looks like Shane is staying behind. Okay, coming up now is Louis Kuhn. Let's see what difference he can make. And it's something we like to watch when we watch Last Man Stands cricket. We like to see those huge hits, huge boundaries, sixes. I don't think there was a six here yet today. A couple of fours, but no sixes. And a few wickets being taken. Like we said, during the CPI Big Bash, we haven't seen many wickets being taken. And although they were testing out some combinations, I feel that there's a few key things to look at a cricket match from a perspective of somebody not that very well versed with the cricket rules. And that is that one team has to score more runs than the other, obviously, the baseline for any sport. But that all depends on how well the fielding was. Um, the wicket or the runs come from how well the batting was. But if you really want to restrict the opposing team, you have to look at your not only your bowling. Obviously, your bowling has to be tailored to what your strategy is. But it doesn't help much if your fielders can't catch the ball. And it's something that we saw during the CPI Big Bash. Many balls were dropped, maybe to the detriment of many of the teams, and the results of those matches could have been a lot different if those balls were caught. Now the batting is keeping Peter, I think it's beside it, pretty busy here today. He's been sprinting up and down. Because he's got a huge area to cover here. Okay, that was a 6 over gone. 3 wickets fell up to now. 5 still standing. Now, traditionally, your opening batsmen, they are the guys that bat the best. and as soon as they can put in a solid performance, they lay the foundation for the rest of the match. Runs wise, obviously, for their team, and we didn't see much of that yet today. The opening batsmen, they struggled to get their rhythm. Coming to ball now, voted Bester, another person that's putting a lot of pressure on himself to bowl faster and more accurate. Usually we can hear vocally whether he's pleased with himself or not. See what he does. Another ball is wide, but Peter is going to stop this ball. Well done. Peter, hou jou besig. So 'n paar sprints ook al ingewerk op. Well, that's the problem with people like Wouter Bester. He bowls quickly, and that ball is wide. It goes past Arthur Creer, the wicket keeper. And usually there's no fielders behind the wicket keeper, and that is the faster he bowls, the quicker that is going to be rolling over the line for a four. So that's probably why Peter is covering a huge area, including the area behind Arthur. Shane standing on 16 runs from 7 balls, which is not too shabby. Now 17 from 8 balls, and that's probably largely due to a few boundaries that he's hit. Now on the striking end is Louis Kuhn, and that is coming towards Peter once again. By now Peter stops that with a lot of confidence, a lot of ease. The funny thing about him is when I personally um, knew him or met him, he used to stay in the same apartment building as I do, and at that stage he was playing rugby. And yeah, we met like that, had a bride together, not huge friends at that stage yet, but an interesting guy. I would love to listen tonight at how this the quality of the commentary coming through to YouTube. But for now, from experience, if you are watching this at home on your phone and the sound doesn't come through very clearly, I do recommend go over to the Last Man Stands Cricket app and watch the live stream over there, because from experience in the past, what we heard that on YouTube, the exact same commentary and exact same footage in YouTube shows a bit glitchy, so there might be something wrong. It's a better shot there. This was straight to, no, it's not Collie, but in any case, on the app everything looked fine, and hopefully it is something that they sorted out with latest upgrade. Yeah, the team calling from the side, calling for the batsman to run 2 runs. Looks like they obviously ignored that instruction. And this seems like it's going to be 4 runs. Yes, that's a beautiful 4. Now the sun is coming through the clouds. You might see that the footage on the screen will be a little bit lighter now as well. We did saw last weekend with the CPI Big Bash that when live streaming the entire day in this brutal Bloemfontein heat, um, especially for an extended time, we do get the phone that is overheating, and then it does look darker on our side than what it does on the broadcast. And but luckily we saw when we tested the footage later on, we saw that it was something only visible on our side. It had no influence going to the viewers at home. One ball left for this over, and that predicted score has come 154. There's a fall from that ball. Roll past us here. Something we didn't realize earlier this year, that we might get a phone that's overheating. That ball is up in the air. It's not going to be caught. That's going to be 4 runs. Well played into the gap. We can see that projected score has jumped up to 179. So the Free State Warriors are doing pretty well now. They are recovering from that slow start they had earlier on. You can hear from his team captain, if you didn't pick up on the microphone, they are telling Shane that they are doing brilliantly over there. And they must just keep going on like they are doing now. Coming to bowl is Wouter. Let's see if he can get his direction to be a little bit more accurate this time. Because a few of the wides that he bowled turned into 4s. And although the Free State Warriors thank him for those extra runs, I think he won't be proud of those, especially the way how hard he is on himself. And we know that he can bowl better. But I must admit, that one was a lot better than he bowled just now. Free State Warriors now not playing like the people at the bottom of the second division log. And they are playing like Warriors. But nothing's over yet. They might have had a lot of bad luck up to now. We saw in the Winter League, they've won the Winter League actually. So they do have the talent, they do have the people, and they could have had a lot of bad luck up to now. Let's put them in a position where they are now. This is going to be 4 runs. Once again, Peter has to go a long way to go and pick up that ball. That ball went over the ridge. The ridge is just behind us. You'll be able to see it on your screen. There's a ridge around the field. Not that it's going to stop the ball, but it is going to help the ball slow it down a little. Voter. Oh, he's calling Dave, appealing for an LBW. Yopi isn't interested. Well, Yopi wasn't convinced that that was an LBW, but a huge appeal by Voter. Well, we could probably argue that it is his job to try and convince the umpire. But obviously the umpires, just like in any other sport, they do have their set of rules which they apply to this decision-making process. And I know that Yopi is also a referee for rugby during the week. Not also playing last man stands cricket, and he's been doing this for quite a while, so he's not going to be negatively influenced by appeals every now and then that they're trying to convince him. He's not going to be put under pressure in those situations. Basically what I'm trying to tell you is that he's not going to buckle under the bowler's pressure, and yeah, he's going to stick to what he knows, stick to what is right. Captain Marius, was just calling here from the side that the players should make sure when they play, don't do anything rash. They are doing brilliantly now at the moment. Actually, if they keep on going on like this, they're going to put the Masters under pressure to try and perform in the second innings. Although they are standing in 4th place at the moment, it's not going to be a lot easier for them, because they now are playing 2 teams against each other, not comparing paperwork, statistical, sorry, statistically, it's going to be good. No, that's over the head of Kali Potgieter, and it's a beautiful 6 shot there by Louis Kuhn. And that was the first 6 we saw here today. He's a huge guy. And I do have a feeling that we're going to see a lot more of those coming thick and fast from now on. So funny how some names you can link to sporting brilliance, if that's the correct word or something. Because although Louis Kuhn, I know, are doing pretty well in professional sport. So his name and his surname is setting him up for maybe a career in sports under pressure, just to live up to his name. En nou kry ons 'n kans om 'n bietjie bol te praat in Afrikaans. Bol soos in die sin van cricketbol of bolly. Jy kan hom maar self besluit. En ons gaan wel die kamera so 'n bietjie skuif. Nog 'n bietjie te veel daai. Sy. Alhoewel die kolder nou 'n bietjie verder van ons af is, want daar word nou gebal vanaf die Tempie kant. Het ek nou net so 'n bietjie uit. 84 vir 3. Bietjie uitgezoom net om die beeld 'n bietjie skerper te kry. So alhoewel die kolwer aan die ander kant van die veld nou kleiner is, bietjie meer kan sien. Dis 'n groot hou hierso wat nou vir 'n vuurhou onder deur die witbord. Weer 'n keer Louis Kuhn. Hy maak nou oop. Baie seker dat Gion van Sail het nie daardie waardeer nie. Spanmaats praat vir hom as Gila. Gaan net die drone oorstuur en dalk weer 'n bietjie beeldmateriaal kry wat ons in die week kan publiseer. En as ons vroeër gepraat het, dit was wel 'n Engelse kommentaar gewees dat in die CPI Big Bash was daar verskillende opinies gewees van waaroor LMS cricket gaan. Party sê dit is oor soveel as moontlik grenslopies aanteken, terwyl ander glo dit vanaf die bowler se oogpunt af is om te probeer dot balls kry. Hoe meer jy kan bal, want omdat elke liewe bal so belangrik is om lopies aan te teken, is dit al klare wen as jy 'n bal kan kry en die kolwer kan niks meer dit doen om lopies aan te teken nie. Lyk as Wouter en Alder sal om te kom oorvat by die balwerk van Gila af. Hoop net hy kan nou sy lyn en lengte uitgesorteer kry, want dan is hy bitter gevaarlik met sy balwerk. Het lyk baie asof die kolwers daarso met Joppie iets bespreek. Joppie natuurlik na die skeieregter vir hierdie wedstryd, was heel dag op hierdie veld gewees. Die umpire. Hy teikentelling is glad nie om te versmaai nie. Beste Masters het sover 3 paaltjies geneem van baie netjiese balwerk en hulle gaan natuurlik moet aanhou of paadjies neem of iets moet doen aan hierdie vloei van grenshoue wat nou van hierdie twee kolwers af deurkom. Want hulle laat nou die grenshoue baie makliker lyk. En sodra dit nou vir jou opposisie begin maklik raak om grenshoue te slaan, dan moet jy weet jy daar so is probleme in jou kant. Want hulle gaan aanhou en net al hoe meer selfvertroue kry om maar grenshoue te slaan. En ek het verlede naweek ook gehoor van sekere cricketspelers wat vir die Knights speel, wat nou vir die CPI Masters gaan speel by die wêreldkampioenskappe, wat baie intimiderend is tussen die kolwers. So hulle probeer die opposisie soveel as moontlik intimideer sodat hulle selfvertroue breek. En dit is iets wat jy probeer keer, soos die twee kolwers wat nou links en regs slaan met daai selfvertroue wat hulle het. Hoe sê jy, fake it till you make it? Dit is goed te wees, jy moet net goed lyk op 'n stadium, dan raak jy goed. En natuurlik die beste masters wat nog moet golf. Daai bal is hoog in die lug en op, gaan Arthur hom kan vang. Nee, hy kan nie betyds by hom uitkom nie. Bal val daar in niemands wêreld met Arthur wat nog op pad is na die bal toe. Hy kon nie by hom uitkom nie. En dis 'n kolwer wat baie gelukkig is daaroor. Hy kry net nog so 'n rukkie kans om aan sy paaltjie vas te hou. Lyk my daardie vloerie van wye balle wat Wouter vroeër gebal het nou bietjie begin bedaar. Hy is nou baie meer akkuraat, opgewarm, oog is in. Natuurlik in last man stands cricket het jy nie baie tyd om jou oog op sulke goed te kry nie, selfs met die kolwers, hulle het nie baie tyd om hulle oog op die bal te kry nie, want daar is net 100 balle in 'n kant, in 'n innings gebal word, so elke liewe ene is bitter belangrik. En daai is die 12de bilbeerd verby. 13de een word nou deur Gideon waargeneem. Daai lyk asof 4 lopies gewees. Ja, 4 lopies daarso vir Louis. Ai. Ek sien jy het so 'n bietjie, maar die laaste wat jy nog gebal het weer beter bygekom. O, okay. Die bal was net afgetik daar na derde man area toe. baie mooi gekeer. Baie motiverend hier so wat van die kant af kom. Marius wat sy spelers daar so aanmoedig om aan te hou, soos hulle op die oomblik aanhou. Weekend wat nie meer baie langer gaan kolf nie, wat nou op 42 lopies staan van 24 balle. Hy het baie duidelik sy kant bygedra. Oeh, daai vangskoot gou sou gewees het, kan maar dalk 'n bietjie stadig gedraai. Maar ons is vandag hier met 'n ander tripod wat gaan maak dat ons baie vinniger op die regte posisie gaan kom. Beide hierdie kolwers wat bitter goed doen nou op die oomblik. Baie goeie fondasie wat hulle los vir die res van die span, wat sou een van hierdie twee 'n paaltjie verloor, het hulle definitief baie makliker gemaak vir die res van die span om net aan te hou, om daardie druk op die CPI, ag nee, CPI en die beste masters toe te pas. Bal wat net so liggies hier na die grens toe getik word. Dis nou Pieter in die oorkant wat hom gekeer het, seker so 20 meter in. So, stuurend gou die drone om weer 'n skoot te neem van dit wat op die veld aangaan. Nou gaan hulle meestal van Wouter se wilwerk wees. Die drone is so halfpad om sy draai en dan sy nou op pad terug. Sy, nog 'n mooi skoot daarso. Wouter die eienaar van Bester Butchery, so hopelik gaan hy daardie beeldmateriaal kan waardeer. Soos ons vroeër gesê het, hy is baie hard op homself oor sy tegniek en hoe hy bal. Maar hy het wel genoem dat hy gemakliker is om van hierdie kant af te bal, want hy aan die ander kant van die veld sê daar is 'n tipe van 'n ongemaklike hobbeltjie. Moeilik met die oogbaars te sien waar is, maar as jy weet hy is daar, gaan hy natuurlik pla. Kool wat nou weer daar geïnspekteer word, kan dalk wees dat een van die kolwe weer besig is om te kraak. Soos gedink het hy meer in die winter gebeur het, maar nou sien ons die laaste ruk is ook 'n paar kolwe wat nou maar breek. En ons van die mense wat sê hierdie laaspunt cricketballe is harder as die gewone cricketbal. Weet julle almal voel my maar hard. Maar as mens gaan kyk hoe die bal gemaak word, dan kan mens nie dink hoekom moet hy so hard wees. Dit is meer, ek dink hoe langer jy met die bal speel, hoe sagter word hy. En daar is 4 lopies, bal wat net verby die veldwerker gegaan het. Want ek het altyd gedink dit is 'n kurkbal met 'n lerige tipe omhulsel. En ek nog 'n bietjie meer gaan oplees het oor hoe hulle cricketbal maak, toe sien ons nie, dit is nie heeltemal die geval nie. Daar is wel 'n kurkbal binnekant, maar hy is baie kleiner as wat ek gedink het. En dan word hy opgewen met katoen tou. Daai is 'n groot hou, massief hou. Die een gaan is dit 'n 4 of 'n 6. Dit is 'n 4. Bal wat net voor die grens gehop het. Maar is 'n pragtige grenshou hierso, en dit is die Free State Warriors wat nou verwoed die grense aanval. Louiken wat op 48 staan. Ek is seker hy gaan binnekort verklaar. Shane Ninaber op 46. So beide van hulle amper hulle 50-tal aangeteken. Pragtige werk vir hulle. Soliede fondasie gelê vir die res van die span om te kom oorneem en die wedstryd klaarmaak met die paar aantal balle wat oor is. Oomlik is dit, daar is 25, 27 balle wat oor is in hierdie eerste helfte. Daar is hy 15de bal weer so pas verstreke. 5 balle oor van hierdie beurt. 25 balle wat gebal moet word. Lyk asof Kali Potgieter nader staan om nou weer balwerk oor te neem. Dit is kom ons kyk of hy hierdie vlaag van grenshou 'n bietjie kan stuit. Een ding wat jy ook al verseker hier aan die kant, Marius Ninaber, kaptein van die Free State Warriors, is 'n gelukkige man. Seker hy is heel tevrede met sy span se vertoning hier vanmiddag. Louis Koen wat daai bal gekeer het op die grens. Kali wat wel opgewonde raak daarso oor 'n bal wat opwip voor die kolwer, maar dit is ook net hy wat opgewonde geraak het en lyk nie regtig asof enigiemand anders oortuig was wat 'n moontlike paltjie kan wees nie. Nog 'n bal wat net afgespeel word na 'n derde man area toe en gaan hy die bal wat nie die grens haal nie. Lyk soos iewers 7 of 8 meter voor die grens waar die bal gekeer was. Ja, as 'n storie vertel ek 'n bietjie opsom wat hier rondom die veld ook al gaan. Hier aan die kant van die Free State Warriors is daar op natuurlik baie meer mense. Nogal groot ou hierdie een wat ook verwoed die grens aanval. Maak dit nie. So 5 meter voor die grens wat hy gekeer is. Natuurlik is daar meer wat aangaan in die Free State Warriors se kamp op die oomblik as by die Western Masters. En dit is alles vanselfsprekend want al die Western Masters se spelers is op die veld. Elke keer sodra die son bietjie hier deur die wolke kom, voel mens hoe word die dag effens warmer. Ons is nou net deur 'n hittegolf. So ek dink almal is maar redelik bietjie dik vir die klomp hitte wat ons gehad het. Soek 'n bietjie reën, maar net omdat die lug 'n bietjie kan afkoel. Maar ons is nog dankbaar dat ons in die son kan wees. Suid-Afrika is maar 'n sonnerige wêreld. En Bloemfontein nog 'n pragtige so reverse sweep hou. Lyk asof nog baie energie in die kolwers van die Free State Warriors is. Shane het sy 50-tal gemaak, so hy gaan nou verklaar. Gaan ons sien wie gaan opkom. Op die veld sien ons ook vir Marius nie daaroor. Hy wil dalk 'n boodskap vir sy spelers aanmoedig daarso om net aan te hou soos wat hulle tans speel. Twee vars kolwers nou op die blad, so as Western Masters nou hulle kaarte reg speel, kan hulle dalk nog paltjies vat nou. En die twee manne het nog nie so lank gestaan dat hulle oog op die bal het nie. Gaan 'n bietjie moeiliker vir hulle wees. En Pieter ter Blanche wat nou bal. Pragtige vertoning wat hy getoon het hier so vroeër vandag met sy veldwerk. Natuurlik. Hy was 'n bietjie skeef was daar. Dubbel en dwars sy bydrae gelewer vandag. En daar is so 'n bietjie van 'n misfield aan die ander kant van die veld. Maar dit beteken nie die bal het oor die grens gegaan nie. Dit goed genoeg gewees om die spoed van die bal te breek, maar dit is nie 'n grenshouding gewees nie. Word 'n groot applous daarso, maar Joppie is nie oortuig nie. Nou wat nader staan om te kom bal is Potgieter. $139 vir 3. Nog 'n bal wat hier vir Wouter kom. Gee 13 balle in hierdie beurt oor. 3 van hulle gaan deur Callie gebal word. Ons sal sien wie die ander 2 balbeurte gaan aanvat. Kan heel waarskynlik wees Pieter de Blanche. Sal sien wie die ander ene vat. Natuurlik sal dit 'n taktiese skuif wees vir die kaptein. Maar is lekker om te sien. Ons sien Marius nie daar oor, hy staan nog daar so gesels by sy kolwer wat wag om in te kom vir ingeval een van hierdie 2 paaltjies val. Hy wil bietjie nader aan die wedstryd wees vir die laaste stukkie. Sy spelers wat baie mooi gespeel het hier vandag. Hulle het 'n bietjie stadig begin, maar die res van die span het mooi reggemaak. Balle oor. Callie Potgieter se balbeurt wat so pas verstreke is. Jacobs wat nou kom bal. Kan sê dat die skare hier so vra dat die man moet 3 lopies hardloop. Hulle het was nie op die kaarte gewees, net 2 daarvan. Jacobs gaan natuurlik iets te sê wil hê. Daai bal het net oor die paadjies gehop. groot ou wat hier so reguit geslaan word. Pieter gaan hom keer. Die bal wat uit ook die grens gemaak, dit is nog 'n 4 lopies daar so by vir Tia Ninaber. En dan baie Ninabers in die Free State Warriors span. Begin nou twyfel of almal dalk broers of familie van mekaar is. Warriors wat net so iets nou baie belangrik doen daar op die veld en dit is deur hul hydrasie reg te kry. Daar is nog 'n innings wat oorbly. En van persoonlike ondervinding al gesien dat as jy gedehidreer is, dan begin jy nie meer dink en besluite maak soos normaalweg nie. En Darryl Knudsen kom in vir die laaste walbeurt. Hy is iemand wat 2 paaltjies geneem het vroeër. So is dalk heel gepas dat hy net die laaste walbeurt gaan oorneem. Net die onderkant van die kolf daar so beet gekry van Shaw. Sal ook kyk of die Warriors nou gaan mik om daar die home run te slaan. Die wat nie bekend is met die home run nie, dit is net as die laaste bal van die beurt vir 'n 6 geslaan word, dan is daardie 6 12 lopies werd. Hy is uitgehardloop. Confirm daar so deur die Joppie. Daar die Kolber het dit nie verwag nie. Hulle het niks meer druk op hulle nie op 162. Kan nie sê hulle is heeltemal gemaklik nie, maar hulle kan bietjie meer gemaklik voel met daai tipe telling. Hulle het nog steeds 'n redelike ver end om te gaan in die tweede beurt. En dan praat ek nou van hulle is die Free State Warriors. Hulle moet dit nog verdedig. En die beste Masters moet nog daai lopies aanteken. Maar wat lekker gaan wees om terug te kom in die tweede helfte vir die second innings om te sien hoe gaan daar gefight word vir daardie teikentelling. Natuurlik is altyd hierdie play-off van gaan vir groot houe, gaan vir groot klomp lopies. Ten spyte van dat jou kanse verbeter word, dat jy jou palkie kan verloor. So, en daarsof gaan 'n palkie, pragtige bal deur Darryl Knudsen. Dit is sy 3de palkie wat hy geneem het. Daarmee het hy heel waarskynlik nou sy aansoek ingesit om vir speler van die wedstryd tussen hom en Louis Koen. Een bal oor, hou hom dan op die kaarte. Warriors sal baie gelukkig wees as hulle nou home run kan slaan. Dit is nie nodig nie, maar hulle sal baie gelukkig wees met 'n home run. Ek is baie seker Darryl Knudsen gaan dit nie vir hulle maklik maak nie. Hier kom dit nou. Dit is nie 'n home run nie. Hy bal rol grond langs. Pieter Brans wat die bal teruggooi. Hy smile breed. Hy weet hy het hard gewerk vandag. Hy hoop vir 'n kans in die tweede beurt om 'n paar groot houe te slaan met die kolf. As hy so die tweede beurt die beste Masters wat 167 lopies moet aanteken, dit gaan nie maklik wees nie. Dit gaan alles afhang van hoe die Warriors veldwerk is en hulle balwerkers, wat gaan 'n uitwerking hê op die Masters se performance hier in die tweede helfte. Ons gaan net gou vinnige breek vat, dan is ons nou terug. Ons gaan sien hoe die Masters hulle talent nie. Die woord wat ek meer voel, hulle karakter gaan toon. Kan sien daar word baie taktiek nou bespreek tussen hulle. So swaai dan, jy kan sien. Taktiek wat daar so bespreek word, natuurlijk gaan dit bitter belangrik wees vir die tweede helfte van hierdie wedstryd. En ja, dus ons gaan net gou vinnig breek van, dan gaan ons sien hoe pak hulle hierdie ding aan van die tweede helfte. So we bring back the drone. Wind is slightly picking up. It's a bit cooler than normal. And usually when the weather feels like this, where the wind picks up, where it's slightly cooler than it was for the rest of the day, usually that means some rain coming. But if we look at the clouds, they're not really dark, so it doesn't look like raining clouds. But I'm no weatherman. I'm not trying to be one. Got no ambition to be a weatherman. It's just based on what I know from what's happening in Bloemfontein, what the weather usually is like, and how it is now. Either way, the weather feels a little bit nicer, especially compared to the heat wave that we had this week. Beautiful bowling there by Marius. Looks like he's quickly going to put the Masters under pressure. Daryl Cruson had a brilliant innings, the first innings with his bowling. Took 3 wickets. And his batting looks pretty confident. Together with Gila, I think they'll put up, they've got chances of battling that 167 between the, not only between the two of them, but because one of them they have to declare when they score 50 runs. But they do have some more batsmen in the team that can take it over to that 106, yeah, it's 167 mark. Yes, it is 167. I do have some slight reservations whether they're going to be able to do it, because CP or the Best Masters are one of those teams. On some days they play brilliantly, and sometimes just seems like everything doesn't come together. And it seems like nothing is working, but you get those days where everything seems to work. So I think maybe it is a matter of confidence in the team, confidence in themselves. Nice bit of fielding here by the Warriors. We have to wait and see, and until a catcher comes along, see what the catching abilities are. But from the appearance of the way Daryl Knussen's batting at the moment, he looks confident, and within their team they've got enough experience to know exactly how to approach this match, knowing exactly what they need to do. So although it doesn't look from the side, they could be under not be they could be under pressure, but doesn't feel it because of their experience. We have to revert to experience. They've got somebody like Arthur Creer in the team who's played more than 400 matches last man stands cricket, and these players, they all know each other, know what to expect from their opposing team. The only way they can bring a surprise to the match is when they add people into their team that the other team aren't familiar with. And most of these players been playing here for quite a while. So there's no new surprises coming their way in the match. Oh, and that is a pity. Gideon losing his wicket. Beautiful bowling there by Shane. Well, it looks like the Ninalberts are ruling this match. Just wondering when the Bester Masters are going to find their rhythm. Because if they do find their rhythm, it definitely spells trouble to the Free State Warriors. So it's always a good idea for them, or a strategy, to keep the Masters off their rhythm. But obviously that kind of advice applies to any team playing on any level. That advice can be carried forward to other sports, because it's a psychological thing, obviously. As soon as you take somebody out of their comfort zone, because in most sports, athletes like to plan their day. They prepare in a certain way for their activity, and I think the more professional athletes, they even have a psychological approach where they, well, it's not imagine, but when they predict in their head how they are going to approach the race or the match or whatever. The word is visualize. They visualize everything, and as soon as you take them out of that area where they couldn't visualize that what is happening with them at that moment, then you take them out of their comfort zone. Oh, and there's a pity. Colin Potgieter going for a golden duck. Looks like the Free State Warriors are on fire here today. And this time it was Marius doing the bowling. Marius taking his second wicket. Seems like a CPI Masters. Not a CPI. My apologies for referring to them to the CPI Masters every time. They are the best Masters. Seems like everything is one of those days where everything just goes wrong for them. We see Peter de Blanche standing closer. Maybe he'll be the one that's going to bring some stability in this performance of the Bester Masters. Not that they don't have any confidence in Darryl Knudsen and Jock Jacobs in doing that. Both of these guys have the perfect ability to form a partnership and take this match to the next level. And we must also remember that the Free State Warriors also started off slow. They started off losing wickets, and then they found some stability with the next players coming in. And exactly the same could happen with the Bester Masters. It's only a matter of when will it happen and if it will happen. But we do know something will happen. Oh, I love this breeze coming here from our right. First time today I feel some relief from this relentless heat. Oh, and that ball stayed low. If that ball was bowled on target, it would definitely have taken that stump of Jock. I wonder whether it is Marius using a kind of a dead spot over there on the pitch. Keep the ball low. Let's see how the next delivery goes. If the ball stays low again, because I think he might be focusing on accuracy this time. Now that ball had a little bit more bounce, but I do believe that the batsman also expected the ball to be a little bit more accurate this time. On target to its stumps, you can see that he jumped right in front of his stumps and concentrated on playing the ball with technique. And the next piece of the puzzle in the Nina Albert attack is Shane coming up. Oh, nearly sounded with as if he touched that ball, but I think that was a wide. Yes, it is. Yoppie indicated that that was a wide. Carroll doing well, sorting out a bit of stability there for the Western Masters right now. It does seem this Free State Warriors team, they've got a new player on their side. I do not recognize the guy standing to our left. He hasn't got team colors yet, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to see tonight. Or if you've got your phone with you, or depending on whether you watch this on your phone or on TV or smart TV at home, tablet or PC, doesn't matter. Um, on the app, you can go and look at the team selections for both of these teams. It does look like the guys got some Indian orientation on their team. Tall guy, very skinny. I can only imagine that we'll be able to see him. I don't want to offend anybody or whatever, but it seems like he could be a bowler, and if he's a bowler, he can be a very fast bowler. He's got the features of a fast bowler. And you can see that he's warming up some form of bowling. So I think it's something that we'll be seeing shortly. Just hang on a little bit and then we'll see him. Because it looks like he's psychologically preparing for a over. And we can hear some music coming here from the Free State Warriors camp. Marius bowling again, and ball is stopped here in the midfield. He almost stops it himself. And that was the fourth over. I do have to commend the app developers of Last Man Stands Cricket. It seems like this new update of the app is working perfectly. We did have some fluctuations in the signal strength earlier on, but it seems like that is sorted out now. Only thing we have to do tonight is listen to what the footage sound like on YouTube, because the footage is being broadcasted to the app as well as YouTube, but I think it goes through the app and then to YouTube. And at that stage where it's being sent to the app, it sends back the scoreboard on our footage to us so that we can also see what's happening on the statistics of the match. So that is not always working correctly, and we did find in the past that they said it is due to using a smartphone that is not really Google compatible. You probably could have guessed that this is a Huawei phone, and in some way the software causes some glitch that it's the sound of the commentating is perfect on the app, but when the footage or the audio is sent to YouTube, there's some of a glitchy sound in the YouTube footage. So hopefully that was sorted out with this app update. We'll listen tonight, listen if that was fixed. Hopefully it does, because I know it's not my mistake, but I do feel kind of embarrassed when people are telling me that the footage on the YouTube channel doesn't sound great. Now, something we know, we are aware of, something I can do anything about it. And it is a problem I don't experience when live streaming other sports. Yes, I'm Jurgen Smith, I'm owner of BFN or Bloemfontein Sport Results, and I live stream other sports as well. Not always commentating on them, but I do live stream. Is there a appeal here? No, Yoppie isn't convinced. Also do rugby and cricket, soccer, netball, even did badminton in the past. So I've done quite a few sports live streaming in the past, and every time I live stream straight to YouTube or Facebook, I don't have the kind of problems I have with the Last Man Stands Cricket app. But it does have one ability which I can't do on my channel, and that is the scoreboard at the bottom. I can put up a scoreboard and do the score manually, but it is not linked to somebody operating an app, like in this instance Yoppie, the umpire standing there adjusting the score, adjusting the people coming up to bowl or bat. Everything is being done by him, and it reflects at the bottom of your screen. There are other apps that does similar things, but for Last Man Stands Cricket, they are paying a streaming service or a streaming license to do this. So everything you see on your screen is licensed. It doesn't come free. So that's probably the main significant feature of this Last Man Stands live streaming app, is the live scoring and the live streaming, which makes things a little bit easier. And then obviously you get, if you pay a little bit more, you can get a system with I think it is, I'm not going to name the brand. It is something I'm looking forward to using in my own business, and that is a company using 8K video cameras that is AI powered. So basically what it does, it is recording the entirety of the whole match. But when you live stream it, it focuses on the ball, whatever you wanted, and that is a beautiful for the first boundary in a while that we've seen, and Special Masters have to score a lot more of those if they want to contain that 167 target. Coming back to the AI footage that I'm investigating, what I want to use in the future, it doesn't cost that much because it takes the job of several cameramen. And what I like about that thing is where you record the entirety of the whole thing. Say for instance a soccer match. You pick how close you want the footage to broadcast to the ball, basically the block around the ball. Say that camera is, or the AI is following the ball in any sport that we are using, and you enter it's tracking the athletes. You can add a name to the athletes, so each athlete can draw the highlight footage afterwards. That's beautiful for wicketkeepers, but discussed that he didn't catch the ball, and of course he would have taken a wicket, but no, he didn't, and that is 4 runs. So with the AI footage, you take on how close you want to follow the ball, and he does it seamlessly, and the flow is good and everything. And like I said, it tracks athletes, and even the athletes can get afterwards a reading on how far they run, how fast they run. All the metrics of every person is being tracked in that system, but the broadcast only shows what you want them to show, which means the broadcast that you show on a TV or whatever platform shows that block, but the coach can afterwards go and look at what happened at the opposite end of the field while there was no action. For instance, if you have a live streaming a soccer match, what did your goalie do the whole time? It is still being recorded. It's being shown. It's not shown, but it's recorded. So you can always go back and see what's happening over there. And yeah, the quality of the footage seems to be so good because it can zooms in a lot. We can zoom in a lot on what's happening on the field, which gives you options. And for instance, what I would have done in a situation like this, you can add cameras to that footage. So for instance, in this match I would have put up 2 cameras, one on each side of the field or on the pitch, on top of the whiteboard, and what makes it nice is because it's recording the entire field and the footage is following the ball, everything is being recorded, so the footage that is being broadcasted will show the fielder's every move, although in the broadcast the footage will follow the ball like the normal live stream that you see on TV. Those huge productions, I do have to admit that the Free State Warriors, their fielding is pretty good. It's quick on the ball. They brought the fielders in closer, so they don't have all their fielders on the boundaries. Only some of them. and they're putting their masters under pressure. For instance, it looks like the masters want to go for a quick run, or a second run, but they don't want to test this new guy's arm. And like we predicted earlier, now he's coming to bowl. Sure. How you pronounce this name? Well, I think his name and surname um, confirms that he's from Indian descent, like many others here in Bloemfontein. In their culture, cricket is a national sport. Although funny enough, I think the most popular sport in India is hockey. Oh, that ball is up and is it going to be caught? Oh, and that ball was dropped. Isn't a four, but I nearly thought that was scored. He stopped the ball in his hands, but he just couldn't hold on to the ball. I think, if I'm correct, that is Shane Nienaber. Just couldn't hold on to the ball. Tremendous pressure here on the. Was it? You can see Narcy get a bit of bounce here off this pitch. Maybe it's got something to do with him being a tall guy. Doesn't seem if he's trying to spin. It's more of a seam bowler. Could get some swing maybe out of the ball. And this is going to be 4 runs. That's not going to be stopped. Almost had to swallow my words, but no, it wasn't stopped. That was a 4 runs. See, Mario is giving some advice there to Narcy. I'm afraid to pronounce his name. I'm so afraid that I'm going to abuse it so much. Not abuse, yeah, slaughtered way of pronouncing his name. Can't get to the word now. I'm actually trying to use butcher. I don't want to butcher his name. Funny enough, the one word I'm struggling to get to has some similarity into the main sponsor of this match, and that is Best Butchery, sponsoring this entire match for both teams. So have a look out this week for our social media posts. all of them will contain some form of branding by Mr. Butchery. When I do have the funding, I'm always making sure that I get some chili bites over there. Chili bites, biltong. When I can afford it, that is, I don't even consider going to another place. That is the place I stop for my dried meats. It's not only because I was sponsoring a lot of my work, but also I enjoy the variety they've got over there. And that's another 4 runs. Looks like Daryl Knudsen is getting a little bit more comfortable there on the pitch. Looks like this situation is changing a little here for Best Masters. Because the two batsmen now are starting to form a partnership, getting some stability in scoring those runs. I think as soon as they are a little bit more comfortable, they're going to start swinging for boundaries. Huge appeal there for possible LBW, but Yopi isn't convinced. Was a pretty enthusiastic appeal there, but yeah, still Yopi, just look at them. No. Some of these guys, everything is going well for them for the Free State Warriors. Marius and Shane Inaber doing well with the bat as well as bowling. And now Louis Kuhn comes in doing a pretty good job bowling. He's got a lot of support from his team players as we hear from each delivery how they encourage him. Mrs. Masters got a 2 liter cool drink over there, soft drink. Just spilled over now. Usually they drink water, but today, no. I mean, they're going for the soft drink. Maybe good if they need the sugar. Knowing the importance of sugar when those people are more familiar with endurance sports will know that usually when you sweat a lot, even if you are busy for a long period, then your sugar level in your body it drops after a while. And people handle that differently. Some people make sure they eat something every now and then. Obviously, it's not something like a rugby match because a rugby match is a lot shorter than what I'm referring to. I'm talking about marathon runners, cycling, and triathlon, Ironman. They are constantly eating to replenish their energy and taking in water. And sometimes it does happen that your sugar levels drop and you start feeling yeah, you're starting to feel bad. Yes, feeling worse, you feel tired, and it is not because you are exhausted. Does have a role to play in it, but you feel like yeah, everything you just before you're hitting the wall, and then usually that sugar of Coke helps to raise that sugar levels of yours, and you'll feel better. But usually you drink it at the end of a long run, because the problem is with sugar is when you drink it at too early on, your sugar level spikes or your glucose level spike, and the problem is not the spike. It is when you come back, it comes back down again, and that is when it crashes, and you feel worse than you did before you drank the Coke. En nou kan ons 'n bietjie bolpraat weer terug in Afrikaans. Nou 10 bilbeerte oor in hierdie wedstryd. Die beste masters sukkel so 'n bietjie op die oomblik. Dinge is nog nie verby vir hulle nie. Die groot vet tannie het nog nie gesing nie. Darryl Knudsen en Jacques Jacobs lyk asof hulle nou hulle ritme begin vind daarso en hulle begin 'n bietjie beter kolf. Nog nie briljant en wat van hulle verwag word nie, maar hulle het dan wel 'n bietjie stabiliteit gebring in hulle span se loopie trend. So goed wees hulle dit kan voorthou. En dalk is dit goed hoekom hulle ook nou Coke drink, dalk om hulle suiker vlak weer bietjie terug te bring in plaas van water. Kyk, hy spanwerk, hulle hoe hierdie tipe mense is. Hulle offer daarso vir die umpire joppie ook bietjie van hulle Coke. Definitief nie iets te doen om te probeer omkoop om nie een voorpaakie te gee later nie. Dit is maar net die mense ken mekaar vriendelik, speel elke Sondag hierso, doen dit al vir jare. Maar iets om na uit te kyk vorentoe. Dit lyk amper asof daar gepraat word dat dit sal nou seker aan die begin van volgende jaar wees, dat van die wedstryde dalk in die aand gespeel kan word. Gesê die ligte wat reg is, maar dit is nou nie op hierdie veld nie. Ek dink dit is al seker nou by die universiteit, by die Technikon wees. Ek weet ook nou nie hoeveel velde hulle het nie. Maar dalk is hy dalk by die Oval hierso. Weet nie. Groot punt is aan baie druk van die organiseerders van LMS Bloemfontein afhaal om van die wedstryde in die week ook te kan speel. Want die manne, hulle werk mos nou maar deur die dag. En so hulle kry net in die aande tyd om te speel. En dan as dit nou wat nou baie gereeld hierdie jaar nou so ver gebeur het, is dat dan kom jy nou op 'n naweek aan reën die wedstryd uit. Of dit reën so baie dat daai veld so nat is dat die mense nie kan speel nie. So ek dink dit is nou iets wat ons nou binnekort gaan plan nie, maar dit gaan wel net so 'n bietjie daai gemaksone kan gee om wedstryde in die week te kan speel. Ek dink veral hier in Bloemfontein nogal, veral in die somer, die dag kan nogal baie warm raak. Gewoonlik enigiets tussen 37 en 40 grade Celsius. Jou bitter moeg maak met tyd. Moeilik hierso vir die beste masters wees, maar hulle gaan moeilike pad terug. Ons is almal seker dit kan gedoen word. Die covers nou op die blad. Hulle die stabiliteit om hierdie wedstryd deur te trek. Weer keer net die onderkant van die kop daar beet gekry. Masters wat net nie die bal wegkry om grenshoue in te ry soos wat die Warriors gedoen het in die eerste beurt nie. Louis Koen probeer sy bes hierso om daai druk net vol te hou. En dit was die beurt gewees vir Darryl Knudsen. Asof die wedstryd nou so vinnige dip weer gevang het in energie. Narsie wat kom bal. Nou van hierdie kant af gaan ons beter kan sien sy balle of hulle swaai en want ons het wel gesien hulle hop redelik hoog, maar ons gaan dalk bietjie beter kan bepaal die spoed swaai. Jo, dit was op die tone daar gewees van Jacques. So Narsie het 'n manier ook om sy balle dan nou of die afstand wat die bal op te verifieer en die covers heeltyd aan die raai te hou wat moet gebeur, hoe moet hulle hom benader. So roep vir 'n bal en dit is 4 lopies daarso vir Darryl. Bietjie van 'n voller bal en net so 'n fliek van sy gewrigte en die bal is hier oor die grens. En ja, Darryl slaan daai een heeltemal mis. En dit is heel waarskynlik iets waarvoor Narsie gesoek het, is daai dot balls. Want elke bal raak nou al hoe meer en meer belangriker vir die Masters om grenshoue aan te teken. Sou hulle hierdie wedstryd wen, maar dit moet ook bysê, dit is die laaste wedstryd hierdie van hierdie jaar. Manne gaan 'n bietjie van 'n breek vat tot en met die nuwe jaar, eerste naweek na die skole begin het. Dan gaan die manne terugkom en dan gaan hulle aangaan met die somerliga, 2024 somerliga. Maar dit is nou net LMS cricket, ons kan nie enigiets bevestig met die klap cricket nie, want ons weet baie van hierdie spelers speel ook klap cricket. En dan natuurlik oefen hulle ook met die action cricket ook in die week. Is nie seker presies wat die spanne, hoe, waar, wat en alles goeders nie, maar Ons weet definitief, hulle werk aan hulle veldwerk en balwerk deur die week ook, maar dit is nou op verskeie plekke. Mens moet dan ook dan in gedagte hou, die manne hulle werk deur die week, so dit is nie asof hulle elke dag heeldag tyd het om hier so op 'n veld rond te staan nie. Daar mense wat so stadig maar seker daardie 50-tal van hom benader. So ons sal maar sien, sou hy sy 50-tal maak, sy plaasvervanger gaan hy dan weer bietjie nuwe lewe in die wedstryd inblaas, of gaan hy meer probleme veroorsaak vir Jacques wat dan agterbly. So daai persoon gaan wees Pieter ter Blaas, het sien hy staan reg. Regtig hoop hy kan bietjie nog lewe in hierdie wedstryd inblaas en daar 'n bietjie meer grenshoue verbykom. Natuurlik is dit nie baie maklik nie. Beste Masters wat tans op 79 lopies staan vir die verlies van 2 paaltjies. So hulle het nog 6 paaltjies staande, maar die druk raak al hoe meer en meer en van hulle beste kolwers het nou al gekolf. Hierdie bal lyk asof 4, ja, hy is nie gekeer nie, dit is 4 lopies. Groot probeerslag hier gewees deur Shane Naber. Was net nie betyds by die bal nie. Nog 'n dotbal daarso vir Chris. Al wat Darryl kon doen is daai bal blok. Daar is nie veel wat hy met daai bal sou kon gedoen het nie. Met hierdie ene stap hy nader. Harlow hier na reguit vir Shane. Soms so 'n paar ondersteuners hier rondom die veld. Sien aan die oorkant is daar 'n paar mense wat op hulle stoele sit en kom kyk het. Familielede. Maar nie 'n groot ondersteuning hier nie. Maar dit kan vir 2 redes wees. Een van hulle is, dit is nou mos moontlik vir mense soos julle wat by die huis kan sit en die wedstryd kyk. Geniet in die comfort van jou eie huis. Daar waar jou yskas naby is, jou pakke chips dalk naby is, snacks en drinkgoed byderhand is, alles langs jou lugverkoeling dalk ons by die huis. Kan baie lekker jou rugby of jou cricket, LMS cricket daar so by die huis sit en kyk. Maar iets wat jy nie regtig langs jou sitkamer sommer kan doen nie, is om 'n vuurtjie aan te steek en saam met vriende te kuier hier by die veld en dan vir die spelers sommer 'n boodskapie te skree. En dat hulle actually dit kan hoor nie. Hier by die veld kan mense dit doen. Nog 'n groot hou hierdie lyk as dit gaan definitief 'n 4 wees. Jacques wat hierso duike maak in die witbord hierso net regs van ons. Duike en hom inslaan. Darryl 48 lopies van 39 balle. Hy gaan sy 50 haal, miskien net 'n bietjie stadig gekolf. Gaan kyk wat se verskil maak Pieter as wanneer hy inkom. Nog 'n paar gedigte kolwers wat tog op die bankie sit wat ook nog kan inkom. Lekker om te sien wat se verskil hulle in die wedstryd gaan maak wanneer hulle inkom. Wonder nou net hoe gaan Darryl nou nie aftree nie, maar verklaar gaan hy dit doen met 'n grens hou. As 'n volhou wat ek saam met hierdie gaan nie die grens haal nie. So nee, hy gaan 'n enkel loopie hardloop en verklaar. Net nie seker of dit Darryl se loopie was en of dit Jacques se loopie was daai nie. Nee, lyk my dit was Jacques se loopie gewees. Darryl is nog nie op 50 nie. Pieter staan reg. Willis van na daai bal toe gaan hy betyds gekeer word. Pragtige keer hierso deur Shane. En dan 'n baie netjies ingooi ook. So nou is dit Knudsen. Hy gaan heel waarskynlik verklaar na hierdie een van die volgende afleweringe. Vraag geset, gaan hy dit hardloop of gaan hy dit grens hou slaan? Ek seker hy wil 'n grens hou slaan. Ja, hy sou nie daai nou gewaardeer het. Dit is 'n volbal wat hoog skouerhoogte verbygekom het. Ek is baie seker hy sou graag 'n grens wou geslaan het. En ek seker die bowler het dit geweet. Dan sit Pieter wat inkom. Hy wat nou vir Darryl Knudsen vervang. Rudy wat ook nader staan, hy gaan dan nou die posisie oorvat van waar Pieter nou gestaan het. Hulle staan dan nou op square leg umpire area. Omdat daar nie nog 'n skeieregter daar is nie. Maar julle wat seker al mes kyk elke naweek weet nou al van daai reël. As dit nou by groter wedstryde kom wat nou 'n bietjie meer belangrik is, gewoonlik by 'n semifinaal en 'n finaal, dan daai posisie word dan deur 'n tweede skeieregter waargeneem. Net om enigheid te verhoed. Dis 'n groot ou daai bal is in die lug. Shane kon hom net nie gevang kry nie. En Pieter is van die merkie af. Hulle is van die merkie af. Hy kan nou 'n groot verskil maak hierso. Hang net af of sy dag vir hom gaan regloop. Sy groot seun. Hy is 'n sterk seun. Reg om groot grenshoue te slaan. Nog 6 paaltjies staande vir die Western Masters. Nie so baie balle wat oorbly nie. Enkel loopie van daai en dit is die storie van Western Masters vanmiddag. Maar wel gedaan deur die Freestyle Warriors. Hulle wat heel onder op die liga bord is, so nommer 7 maar wat weer eens net wys daar so wat hulle steek. Hulle het 'n baie lekker wedstryd hier vandag. Chris is klaar gebal, nou kom Tian op. Hy het 25 balle oor in hierdie wedstryd. Gaan Western Masters 64 lopies kan slaan daarmee. Tussen 2 en 3 lopies per bal. So enige keer as iets soos daai gebeur, maak dit net so 'n bietjie moeiliker vir hulle. Draai net daai skroewe in die doodskus net so 'n bietjie stywer vas met elke bal wat nie 'n grenshou is nie. Groot ondersteuning hier vir Tian wat 'n bal van sy spanmaats af. Nog 'n dotbal daarso vir Tian. Baie motivering met die van sy spanmaats afkom. Tian se balwerk is nou baie soos om 'n muis in 'n hoek vas te keer in jou huis. En dan roep jy nou jou vrou met haar skerppunskoene om nader te stap. Ek dink vroeër het daar groot ou hierdie dit gaan hier in die middelveld val. Shane tel hom gemaklik op nie. En gooi hom terug vir Tian. Dink al die potgieter het net 'n bitter slegte dag gehad om vir 'n goue eentjie te loop. Ek dink sou hy nie daai goue eentjie gekry het nie en 'n bietjie langer aan sy paadjie vasgehou het, sou dinge in hierdie wedstryd baie anders gelyk het. Hier is nou 'n bal wat hardloop. Weer 'n keer Shane met die bal net voor die grens keer. Hulle keer nou elke liewe 4 hierso. Shane word nou nader geroep om te kom bal. Ja, dit is 'n moeilike ding as jy so 'n speler van sulke formaat in jou span het. Veral as jy weet wat hy op die grens vir jou kan doen en dan hom inbring om te bal. Dis sou 'n besluit van die kaptein, maar veral as 'n speler so goed is en alle so all-rounder is, dat hy op baie plekke goeie talente het, gaan jy hom gebruik om te kom bal, maar dit dan is, terwyl hy bal staan hy nie op die grens en keer grenshouwe nie. Dan moet jy maar aanvaar dat jou res van jou span hulle deel ook gaan bydra. Dis mos maar spanwerk. There is no I in team. Nog 'n bal wat gekeer word, gegrenshou wat gekeer word, seker so 10 meter in van die grens af. Nie baie balle wat oorbly in hierdie wedstryd nie. Al wat in die liggaam is, word geroep vir 'n vangskoot, maar nee, hy val in niemands wêreld tussen twee spelers. Was Pieter betyds in sy kampie gewees? Dit wil so voorkom. Enkelopie wat gehardloop word. Skroewe in daai doodskus wat met elke aflewering bietjie stywer vasgedraai word vir die beste masters. Weer 'n keer reguit na die veldwerker wat hier in die middeveld staan. Al die veldwerkers wat nou in die sirkel staan. Een of twee op die grens. Een. En daar verloor Jacques sy kans om 'n 50-tal vandag. Hy gaan nie sy 50 haal nie. Bietjie vars bloed wat inkom in die naam van Rudy wat kom nader staan. 15 balle wat oor is in hierdie wedstryd. Hoeveel opwinding gaan tussen Rudy en Pieter gegenereer kan word hier op die golfplat van die Universiteit cricketveld nommer 2. En dan staan ons die bystand kolwer gaan dan Wouter Bester wees, hy staan nader. Hy gaan op square-leg umpire posisie staan. Soos Rudy en Pieter, beide manne hulle werk in Wouter Bester se winkel. Beste Butchery, ook die hoofborg van hierdie wedstryd. Sien Arthur Gray het ook nader gestaan. Gemak van sy kar se verkoelingsstelsel opgegee om hier langs die veld te kom staan. Nou nie heeltemal 'n kolwer van formaat nie, maar as jy nou al oor die 400 wedstryde LMS cricket gespeel het, somewhere along the line, gaan jy begin leer om te kolf. En ons het nou al gesien hoe hy ook sy deel bygedra het in die verlede, waar hy die laaste man staande is op die kolfblad. En dan sy man staan daar so. Min mense wat op wedstryd so goed kan lees soos hy. Louis Koen wat kom bal, baie druk nou op Pieter en Rudy daarso. Maar ons sien net enkel loopie gevat, so hulle vat nie kanse nie. Daar word 'n groot roep uitgeroep hierso vir 'n beenvoorpaaltjie. Joppie, die umpire, hy is nie oortuig nie dat die wedstryd aangaan. Sonnetjie wat nou warm skyn hierso tussen die wolke deur. Die lafenis wat die wolke vir ons gebring het so ver hierdie dag is nou besig om kanskap gaan hy gevang word. Ja. Bietjie van. So is die man uit. Kan nou nie sien of die man veilig terug was in sy kampie nie. Dit lyk asof either Pieter of Rudy na sy paadjie verloor het. Lyk soos Rudy wat wegstap, Wouter wat inkom, Wouter wat by Pieter aansluit en Arthur Creer wat dan nou in 'n skielik kampanje posisie gaan staan. Hierdie wedstryd wat nou vinnig na 'n einde se kant toe staan. Vraag gaan nou wees op meeste mense se lippe wat nou kyk is, wat gaan wen? Gaan die Freeside Warriors al die paaltjies neem? Gaan hulle paaltjies neem voordat die 20 balbeurte verby is? Of gaan die daarvan die beste masters wees wat nog aan hulle paaltjies kan vashou tot die einde en al dan moet, want ek dink nie hulle gaan die teiken totaal haal nie. Wil nie negatief klink of enigiets nie, maar ek dink die kans daarvoor is redelik min. ...47 lopies van 11 balle, dit is 'n 4. Ja, dit is meer as 4 lopies per bal. So selfs al slaat hulle nou 'n grens hou van elke bal en dit is 4, gaan hulle nie die wedstryd kan wen nie. Gaan hulle trots kan vashou